And we welcome you to Bethesda. The Maryland Soccerplex will play host to tonight's matchup between Bethesda and Annapolis here in USL League Two. I'm Tyler Lochte, joined by the Hall of Famer Bruce Murray. And Bruce, both these teams are knocked out, but both of them are really trying to lay a foundation for the future here in USL League Two.
Yeah, it's been a great season, not in terms of victories, wins, and losses, but in terms of like finding out, you know, the way this league works. And, you know, I was just talking to two of the players out back, and then when they talk about, playing guys that are a little bit more professional in this league than in their college teams, and that's, you know, quite interesting in itself.
Well, we talk about getting experience against professional players. For Annapolis Blues, last night, they played against Santos Laguna, the six-time champions of Mexico, in a friendly. We'll talk more about what they did in that match and the significance of it later on. But, Bruce, that has to be a real boost for them in terms of confidence, in terms of learning. I'm sure that it was a great experience for them.
Oh, definitely. To have a team of that, aptitude and soccer intelligence and all the titles they bring, it's great to be on the same field with players like that. And, again, every time you have an opportunity like that, you learn from it.
Yeah, absolutely. Bethesda will be in blue. Annapolis will be in white here tonight. And again, for Bethesda, this is their first season here in USL League Two. They're playing against an Annapolis side that are in their second season. They really made their bread in the NPSL before making the jump over to USL League Two, taking their massive crowds with them, some of whom are here tonight as we are ready to go on just a beautiful night on World Cup night here at Bethesda.
And, again, speaking of World Cup, we always play on a World Cup field here at the Sportsplex. The field is as good as you'll see in the World Cup. They're fantastic, the surface.
Well, Bruce, you played in the World Cup, and as soon as you sat down, the first thing you said to me was, that's a World Cup field out there, and it is certainly, I'm sure, nice for all these guys to be able to play on such nice carpet. As we are ready to go here tonight, it will be Dan Klink ready to kick this off and get us underway here under the lights. It will not be needed for the first half, but certainly looking forward to them really shining as this game goes on. As we are underway here tonight, that'll get played into the middle. Now sent over to the far side here for Annapolis. The Blues will be moving left to right, as this is Jojo Okran playing it back to the keeper, Alexander Hare. So Hare is a player that brings a lot of experience to this Blues lineup. He grew up in England playing for Derby and Sheffield Wednesday's youth systems. Maybe a common theme with this Blues team, with that British influx, maybe led by their coach, the Scot, Colin Harriott.
And everyone that has any interest in soccer understands right now the Scottish following in the World Cup, the Tartan Army.
Yeah, I was hoping that Colin would bring some of the Tartan Army here tonight, but obviously they can't do that. They've got their own game to worry about today against Brazil. A dream of many Scots, I think, to see their team play against Brazil in the World Cup, as this will get played over to Isaac Basenze, who is finding a new position here tonight, Bruce.
Yeah, they got Basenze out wide left, and that's a good position for him. And again, speaking to him before the game, incredibly mature in his thought process. He said, it's not my strongest position, but whatever I can do to help the team. And I think that's fantastic. You don't hear that a lot from young people.
Yeah, you really need guys to buy into the system in order to be great. And again, for Bethesda, we've kind of seen that all year long as they've tried to find that identity, tried to figure out what works and what doesn't. A lot of these players playing at this level for the first time. As Annapolis will now look to control the possession here. That's going to be sent to their back line. This is Okran back to the keeper, Hare.
And I think it's important to kind of accentuate this, and that is The Annapolis Blues, obviously this is a World Cup year and struggling a little bit on the attendance. But the Annapolis Blues are getting 8,000 and 10,000 crowd season ticket holders. It's unbelievable. I've been to a number of games over there. This is the franchise that you want to emulate. This is the one that you want. And this is, Bethesda has all the resources. They have all the manpower. And this is, if we can fill this place up like Annapolis does, that they're setting an example. And I think Bethesda's going to be right behind them.
Over 7,000 in the building last night on a midweek game to see them battle in that friendly.
In a World Cup year as well.
Yeah, absolutely. This is Bethesda working their way down the field, and the ball will get booted away and scooped up by the goalkeeper, Alex Hare. So it will be Hare and net here tonight. Thomas McCauley got the nod last night. McCauley, also with experience in England, played for Spurs and Hull City and currently captains GW. So that will roll all the way down to Alan Bean, the keeper for Bethesda, who does have a goal contribution this season, picked up an assist. So he would really love to play the ball out of the back here tonight as he takes his time scooping that one up.
That's a moonshot for goalkeepers, right?
Absolutely. I'm sure every time they boot it long, that's the hope. All right, can somebody run this down and put it in the back of the net? Give me a rare stat. This is Brian Ramos here on the left side. He gets chased down by Dan Karsten.
But Brian Ramos also chased Dan Carson once he lost the ball, and now Bethesda has the ball again. That is how you win the ball. You need to win it back 5 seconds or less after you gave it away. That's the Barcelona way.
It's going to get knocked into the middle. Yeah, the effort this year from Bethesda is really something that's caught your eye.
Oh, no question. Just the work ethic, the work rate. But now the players starting to sync up a little bit, passing people on. So when I watch the defenders, I see them looking across the line and passing their player on. Before they were running with their player, which opened up all the space and wasn't the best for Bethesda for sure.
This is going to get knocked back to this Bethesda back line anchored tonight by Max Nelson, who's on the ball right now. He's going to look to play this downfield over the top. And it will be secured here by Bethesda, played into the middle looking for McWhinney, but it will get booted away by JoJo Okra. Gilmani will boot that downfield, and Bethesda will look to reset with Besenze out wide. And again, Bethesda really have looked for Besenze a lot this season as McWhinney runs it down. He heads towards the corner, now cuts back into the middle. McWhinney plays it across, but Alex Hare is there to scoop it up for Annapolis, really the first action of the game from either goalie.
It's a great run by McWhinney, just right across the back four, got it in space. And instead of maybe taking a player on in the corner, he just threw it in the box in a good spot. And, that's now the responsibility of the forwards to get onto that spot. So great work by McWhinney.
And that ball now is going to roll out of play on the far side. Be thrown back in here by Bethesda as the crowd grows over on that far side of the pitch. This is Sibulime, who grew up in Uganda, played for Uganda's youth national teams. Another one of those international players on this Annapolis side. So get played over to Timo Janssen.
Well, also, Besenze has family heritage from Uganda. He's Ugandan as well.
There you go.
Yeah, and he plays at NC State.
Yeah, a lot of very high-level college players on this field here tonight, Bruce.
Absolutely. Players from all the big colleges.
This is going to get rolled down the sideline for Fukuda. Fukuda gets his pocket picked by Machete. Did a good job there to help back. It gets forward here to Ramos. And now Ramos is shielding Karsten And opts to just pass that back to Basenze. He's going to switch it over to the far side.
Great switch by Basenze. Opens up the whole middle of the field now.
But it is a poor touch, and it gets taken away here by Leonard. Over to Kiomani on the far side. Now, this is Ben Medor. Had a call with Brendan Hartlove, the voice of the Blues, before this game. And the player he raved about the most was Ben Medor, who, you know, his contributions, they may not be on the score sheet, but in his words, he said he's a proper player. He's all over the place. Look out for number 29 in white here tonight.
Can't wait to see him. Brendan Hartlove is obviously with Dave and I in the DC United broadcast, and it's a shout-out to Dave Johnson, who's listening tonight.
Thanks for tuning in, Dave. His team, the Blues, here looking to strike first. As that was Scarston cutting in, goes out for first corner of this game for Annapolis.
And we've seen in the World Cup how important the set pieces are, especially for some of the big teams, England, Germany. And it's the first opportunity for the Annapolis Blues, and Bethesda's got to get all their marks right. They're playing a man zone, which is a good way to defend the first corner.
First corner comes in, it gets headed away. Round one goes to Bethesda there. Bethesda not out of the woods, though, yet, as that will get headed away and go out of play. A throw-in coming here from the near side for the Blues.
I think for the average fan, you have to understand, like, once that ball is headed out, and then there's a reshuffle, and there's so many things that can go wrong defensively. So that's why set pieces are a big part of soccer. And coaches just, you know, absolutely stay up at night worrying about set pieces, and you hear that all the time, but you're like, you know, it's a set piece, no big deal. Well, it is a big deal.
Kind of feels like Arsenal and their success with corners has put it back into the limelight as such a viable weapon.
Well,
and you see that even dropping down to this level. Yeah,
you see the service from Declan Rice, and you're like, holy cow, you know, just lay it right on somebody's head. But the thing about set pieces is you could play 89 great minutes, and then you turn off one, you know, miss a guy, miss a mark, and that set piece, you know, dooms you. So that's something to think about. You know, you got to have set pieces first, have good defense, and then build it out from the back.
There's certainly so many different ways to score, and for the set piece, that's something that feels like the more you rehearse it, the better at it you can be. So it's kind of a question of how much time during practice do you want to allot to it.
Well, you had a great goal from Portugal yesterday in the World Cup where Ronaldo, everyone in this building knew Ronaldo was going to take it, and then it wasn't Ronaldo, and, you know, it was just pretty much amazing. And that was choreographed. And, that, again, set pieces have to be you have to be tricky in set pieces.
As a stealth bomber flies over the field on the far side, that is a rare sight. Let's see if Annapolis can find a way to get this down. It's a first for me, Bruce. In all the games I've ever called, I've never seen that.
No, I've never seen that either.
This is Karsten cutting inside. Karsten looking to chip this over the top. That's a really good ball. It falls in the box. An opportunity there for Dan Klink. He could not find the back of the net, found the side of it instead. It's a parent goal, and it's a goal kick here for Bethesda.
What a great ball. Just cuts across it, but kills it right in front of Klink. And Klink needed to get his hips turned on that and get to the back post, and that was the problem there. But, boy, what a fantastic ball in over the top.
Dan Klink is an incredible player. This guy's so good. He's got a Wikipedia page, Bruce.
Does he?
National, not Maryland, National Gatorade Player of the Year.
Wow.
Dan Klink.
Wow. Good.
Went to Loyola Blakefield, the rival of mine and Ben Medor's Calvert Hall Cardinals. And Noah Walker, who is up here in the booth with us as well.
I was going to say, I'm surrounded by the Baltimore Mafia here.
What a great rivalry that is on really every sport, but especially soccer when you have on Calvert Hall's side recently winning a national championship.
That's right.
And then on the other side, you got the best player in the country in Dan Klink. And, oh, by the way, Ben Medor, who was on that national championship team is now teaming up with Clink.
So great this year to take DC United over to M&T and play Lionel Messi's Inter Miami, because not just because ticket sales and all those things in the 72,000, but just Baltimore getting its shine. You know what I mean? Baltimore is such a soccer town. It's one of the, you have St. Louis, Baltimore, and who else? I mean,
Kansas City.
Kansas City is a big town now.
Seattle really shining here in the World Cup is going to get intercepted there by Ishibashi. I think we're really starting to see this summer how big soccer can be in this country. It's really been incredible to see so many different people buy into it.
When you, 2 weeks before the World Cup, have 2 or 3 old guys in the park talking about Diego Luna, soccer's on your doorstep.
Right. This ball is played through. Manny Thistle, who leads everybody on the field here with 4 goals this season, looks to play then across to the far side. Ishibashi tried to roll it in. It falls perfectly here for Bethesda, and they take the lead through Sven Meacham, his first of the year.
And we talked about that earlier. Sven Meacham moved positionally as an inverted winger on the other side, and that's what happened. He came in. He's the responsibility on sealing the backs on the backside, on the cross from the left, where he usually plays. So what a great goal, great finish, great positioning.
Sven Meacham, he's a smart guy, Bruce. He goes to Yale, and you can see that instinct there. He knows right where to be to pick up the goal.
Well, absolutely. And, again, you have to, where he was, he had to come in and what they call frame the box. Don't let it get past you. And he did. He got one touch on it. Yeah, right there. Ball comes out and slots it home, right? Doesn't look for the power. Just goes for a little slot into the side corner. Great goal, 1-0, BSC.
So it's Bethesda who strike first in this battle of blue teams. And now we will see what Annapolis can do for a response. And remember, just a moment ago, you had that really good look from Dan Klink.
That's right.
Just how quickly things can turn. Annapolis nearly go up 1-0, and now they're down 1-0.
That's usually the case. You see a miss on one end and then a goal on the other.
This is Karsten. He's headed to the corner, and that gets booted out of play for a corner kick by Machete. But I completely agree, Bruce. I feel like there's something in the fact of when you almost concede, maybe you should have, and you get away with one, all of a sudden you get that momentum boost.
That's right. It's with 100%, great point. It's a psychological part of the game. This game isn't all about running and jumping.
This ball's going to get played into the middle. It gets headed down. Here's a shot from the edge of the box. It gets cleared away. That was Fukuda who had a go. One of many players in this Blues team with a goal this season.
And Fukuda just looked like he wasn't quite committed to smashing it, because that's one that you got to absolutely smash, because you're looking for that thing to hit legs, whatever, all the way through. And he kind of just half hit it.
Fukuda, another international player on this Blues team from Hiroshima, Japan. It's his first year with the club. Plays for the College of Charleston here in the U.S.
Great program. Sean Docking, years and years.
This is Karsten. Did not have an angle to shoot it here, but he does have 2 goals this season. Always dangerous, the man with the orange cleats, as that ball pops up into the air for Fukuda.
And College of Charleston alumni, former DC United coach, Troy Lassane.
Yeah, a handful of College of Charleston guys are on this team here in Annapolis. One of them, Matthew Leonard, is their all-time leading goal scorer.
And his father, Keith, was the All-American goalkeeper at University of Virginia back when I played. And Keith now is in charge of this Maryland Soccerplex.
Sure, it was not an easy task to put one by him.
Oh, no. They called him Primo. That was the nickname. He was Primo, like the primo player on the field. Forget the fact he was the goalkeeper.
It's the summer of goalkeepers, isn't it, Bruce?
Oh, it really is. I mean, we've seen some magical moments. Goalkeepers on their hands and knees catching a ball that's just going over the line, and it's been amazing. And it just reminds me of hockey in the sense that if you have a goal scorer, you have a facilitator, and you have a goalkeeper, you've got a pretty good hockey team.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Bruce. One of the people I've been talking about most about this World Cup is my buddy who's a hockey goalie as that gets sent in. Here's Vakuda, another go. Gets headed straight up. And now there's a shot from real long range there. Just mishit there by Sibalime. But, again, like I was saying, my buddy who's a hockey goalie, he's loving this. He's saying it's about time in soccer that the goalies have gotten their due. And not only are they getting their due, they're getting 15 million followers overnight.
And as I was talking to one of my colleagues at Fox Sports, or Fox today, Fox DC, and we were just saying we really hope that he gets monetized on his Instagram account, because he went from, 1,000 to 15 million.
Yeah, I think it was about 50K, something like that. You got to get those endorsement deals. You've got a big audience now that are paying attention to what you say, as this is going to be played over to the near side. Long run here for Karsten. He cannot get there. Goes down for a throw-in. There's just been so many stories like that just show the
Cape
world
Verde
scale.
Cape Verde. What are we seeing with Cape Verde? Uruguay, Spain. I mean, those are heavyweights.
This ball's going to get rolled through for McWhinney. And he gets bodied off the ball there by the captain today, Alejandro Carrillo.
And you said the perfect thing. You made the great point that he was bodied off the ball. McWhinney has to get his body into him first. I mean, McWhinney's 6'3". He can dictate the terms, and that's something he'll learn as he goes forward in this league.
Carrillo is a very hard guy to go against, though. Very, very good tackler. Really good at his timing. That's a reason why he wears that armband, Bruce. He's always putting a foot in the right way. And that's such a good skill to have, to be well-timed tacklers. This is McWhinney looking to slide it through for Ramos, who tried to go around Okran. It goes out of play, and it will be
a corner kick.
Yep.
Yeah, great work by Ramos. Didn't give up on the play. He realized it was going to go out for a goal kick, so he tried to figure something out, and he did. He got on the other side of the ball and forced a corner kick out of it. Really, that's something you'll never see on the stat sheet, but this could lead to a goal.
Wonder if maybe you could make soccer more like baseball and invent all these different stats to show guys. I feel like that's starting to happen, as this ball is going to be sent in by Meacham to the back post. It gets headed away. That's Carson Shamu, we've seen score a couple of really good goals this season. Gets knocked down to Meacham. Meacham looking to send that back into the mixer. Gets over the head of McWhinney, and Kiomani will run that down and boot it down the pitch. Spasenze trying to rise up and stop the ball. Will be played back, though, to this back line. This is Okra. Knocked into the middle of the field here for Janssen. He gets taken down. Bethesda could be in here. There's the pass over to Shamu. What a save by Hare. Got his foot to it and booted it away.
What a save, man. Total kick save, hockey save. Speaking of hockey, right?
Excellent from the Englishman in net. And now a throw-in for Annapolis. Very even game, it feels so far.
It really does. There's no one's really got the better of the game, but at the same time, they're producing some good wing play and some good stuff right through the middle.
Feels like this game is not going to end 1-0. Can say that with some confidence. This is Karsten playing that into the middle here for Janssen.
But you go back to your thought on stats. They started coming up with this stat a couple years ago in DC United, and the players were in the press conference and they'd say, "Well, my goals expected," and I'm saying to myself, "What do you mean goals expected? Why don't you just score?"
Right. That's the only goal that matters.
I'm not sure how this goes. The game has passed me by.
That goes into the corner for Leonard. He goes down pretty emphatically there with the hands up.
Yeah, he's not going to get that. He just needs a young Mr. Leonard needs to turn the TV on and see what the referees are allowing in the World Cup, which is incredible.
Here's another look at the kick save from Hare.
Yeah, that's really good because at this point, Hare's a player. He's not looking to. He just has to do something, and he positioned himself in a way that he had to use his legs, and he knew the ball was going to come back across. It was a really good save, and the reason I say that is at 1-0, great, 2-0, then things get a little dicier. So that's taking one off the board for the Annapolis Blues. Well done.
That's another one of those. We talked about it earlier with that miss from Klink, where a near goal can boost a team, and we've seen Annapolis have most of the ball since that save. But the question is, can they find it in that final third? Their failure to make that final pass has kind of held back a team that has a ton of talent in Annapolis this season. They'd love to finish strong here and end this campaign in a good way to build for next season. It's Leonard playing it over to the far side. This is Chiomani showing some speed. Chiomani to the back post. Karsten tried to hit it across. He has won a corner.
That's good work by Annapolis. Great ball to the back post. 3 people on the back post. And blocked out by the Bethesda player. Well done.
Another corner here for Annapolis. They've had a few of them early in this match. See if they can find their first goal of this game. It gets sent in, and once again, headed away here by Bethesda. We'll get rolled back to Chiomani, the man that set up that last chance. This is Fukuda. Now Annapolis are working backwards.
Yeah, this looks very Barcelona-esque. Get into the side. Don't like what you see. Let's go out the other way. Open up the field.
This is Jansen. Low shot right to Alan Bean. That will not trouble him.
It seems just early on, Tyler, is it Bethesda is more of a counterattacking group here, and Annapolis wants to really move the ball. I mean, every time they get the ball, there's 5, 6, 7 passes.
That's going to get played into the middle for Thistle. Got behind it, but he does well to chase that back and win it. Passes it off to Shamu. Rolls it through for McWitty, and now Bethesda work their way down the field. That is Meacham. Nice piece of skill. Meacham now looking for a pass, and he has found it. He connects with Machete, who now rolls it over to the near side for Besenze. Ramos cuts into the middle. Besenze in that new position here on the left side has won a corner.
I'll tell you, some great work by Meacham coming in off that right wing. That's why you invert your players. You bring them in, or you take them to the other side of the field and let them, let them come inside. It's kind of the whole new way to do things with wingers is if you're a right winger, they have you come in off the left side because you can shoot. Players can shoot from distances now like never before. I mean, you can hit a curler from 35 yards. You see it all the time in the Premier League.
One ref said corner, the other one saw the deflection there off of Besenze, so the call got changed to goal kick. Now that's Hare looking to slide it into the middle. High press here from Bethesda. Trying to force a mistake from this Annapolis team as that's Jansen playing it over to the far side. That gets need forward to Nelson. And now he has it taken away. That gets played over to Klink. Klink trying to beat Nelson on the far side. What a battle between those two, and the battle is going to be won by Bethesda on the whistle.
Yeah, 2 big guys, pretty much identical in size. But yeah, that's a battle that is going to go all night. Ryan Nelson, Georgetown, And obviously his father was captain of the New Zealand World Cup team.
Yeah, Max's father, Ryan, really must be happy right now.
Sure.
With how New Zealand has played in this tournament. They, I believe, came in the lowest ranked side, picked up a point, scored some really good goals, showed a lot of fight. As the ref is going to play advantage there temporarily, now he will blow the whistle. As that was Matty Thistle working his way through.
And that was excellent refereeing because the referee, as you said, just let it go and then saw the spot of the foul, then brought it back when realized that Bethesda really had no advantage in it. Very, very good refereeing. I always point out good refereeing because everyone's banging on the referees all the time, and, you know, it's a judgment. You know, I'm not a VAR fan, so it's a judgment game, so you have to. For me, I live with, okay, you know, referee makes a mistake here and there. That's okay. So when they make great plays, we have to celebrate that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was definitely handled the right way.
And this is a great opportunity for a curler right off the left side of the wall, right around the corner.
Matty Thistle's going to take this. He could score from distance. He floated that one just over. The senior at Davidson just got under it.
He needed to hit it a little harder, too. If you're going for the far corner, that's fine, trying to curl it in, come off the post. But he needed to hit that just with a little bit more venom.
We've seen him hit it with venom. The best goal that you and I have seen this season was from Thistle, a real firecracker into the upper 90. He knows how to hit them. But I agree with you that time. Maybe took too much off of it, tried to pick his spot, worried too much about the accuracy, didn't get enough power. As this gets played over the top for Fukuda, little chip to him. Now he's going to roll that back to Jansen. Timo Jansen plays it over to Fukuda again. And how about Ramos there getting a foot in, taking it away, but he gives it right back. So again, Bethesda with not as much of the ball as Annapolis, but it feels like they're much more direct, Bruce, when they do get it. As that gets played in, the header goes back to Karsten, who hit it into the side net and goes out for a goal kick.
Well, that was to my point is, you know, Bethesda seemed to be a little bit more counter-attacking, and then you've got Annapolis, you know, who put 7, 8, 9 passes together. So that's how it's going right now.
Alan Bean was over on the far side of the goal when that ball came across. I think he got a little bit lucky that that ball sort of hung up just a bit too long for Karsten to make him pay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to get played down the other way on the goal kick. You wonder if Bethesda will turn on that pressure here again. Hasn't really forced many turnovers, but it certainly made Annapolis take much longer to get the ball down the field. Slowed them down.
And it forces them to work, you know. And, you know, you talk about 90-minute games, so eventually it wears you out a little bit.
It's maybe too much pressure there from McWhinney as he gets whistled for the foul.
Well, that foul by McWhinney, first of all, McWhinney is a big body, right? He's a 6'3" guy. He's huge. And, you know, we used to call, for DC United, we used to call Christian Benteke. Anytime Christian Benteke bumped somebody, they went down like it was their last minute on this earth, and it was big. It was a big body foul, is what we would call it, right? I mean, just the fact that he's like Clifford the Big Red Dog, right? You know, everything's bouncing off him, and it's not his fault.
McWhinney certainly a physical presence for this Bethesda team. Also been a presence on the score sheet this season. He's scored twice and also picked up an assist.
Yeah, he is. It could be groomed to be a really good number 9. You know, hold it up, get wide, get the ball, get in the box.
He's certainly got the physical tools. He's got the height. He's got the strength, and that ball's going to roll over to the far side for Hare.
So when you have all that, and you're not the fastest guy in the field, I would say that he needs to focus on getting that ball and holding it up.
He's going to roll this through for Meacham. Meacham looking for the back post, got way under it there for Ramos, who will see that go on a play for a throw. That ball's going to get headed over the top. That gets pulled down now at the middle of the field by Ben Medor. Gets played over the top for Medor. Can he get on the end of it? Yes, he can. He cut it back. Now he's going to look to go into the middle. This is Ben Medor sliding it through for Leonard. Great save there by Bean. The best of the day from Bethesda's keeper.
And Ben Medor, man, just slicing and dicing people up. What a great entry pass.
And now a shot from distance there from Fukuda. He hit it well, but just over.
I'll tell you, Fukuda's not afraid to hit one, is he?
No, he's not. There was some hesitation earlier on the volley. Not much here. Gave that a real rip.
And, I mean, it had the power. It definitely didn't have the placement.
I think now if you're Bethesda, you know the drill. If Fukuda's got space, he's going to fire. He's in and out twice from distance. This is taken away in the middle of the field. Gets rolled through for Ramos into the box. He looks to center it, and it's Okran leaping to save the pass from getting across, but he has given Bethesda a corner.
And now all the center back, all the big guys are coming up for Bethesda. I'd like to see if they have some kind of set piece. I've just seen them kind of, everyone just gets in the box. I'd like to see, if watching the World Cup, and, you know, obviously our guys are watching the World Cup too, they're seeing all these, like, twist plays and, you know, guys on the near post go to the back post. There's all kinds of trick plays, and each team now employs a free kick specialist or a corner kick specialist. Every team in the World Cup.
This ball gets sent in, and I think that went off of Okran again. Yes, it did. It will be another corner kick here for Bethesda, who would really love to get that second goal, get that insurance. They play this short to Ramos. Ramos fires into the middle. It bounces through. Now Bethesda will get this, the Blues will get this clear. It's going to be slid down the field. Miller misjudged that back pass. This is Ramos now scooping it up. Pressure from Karsten. It's Besenze firing it all the way back to his keeper. What have you seen from number 6 in his new position here now that we've seen about 35 minutes of it?
I think he's doing fantastic. He's getting the ball. He's not on the offensive side. You know, that's not really the job out here on the left wing. But you can see there's with Ramos, there's a little bit of a partnership developing. And when these two figure it out, they can essentially cover for each other. Ramos can drop and become the fullback, and then bang, 6 is going past him and getting crosses in.
It's really impressive, I think, the physicality that Besenze plays with. He's only 5'8", just a $155, but he plays much bigger than that.
He plays a lot bigger than that, and he's really quick. And he's always got a hand on you, and, you know, that's the physicality.
That ball gets played over the top, and it goes all the way through. That was Klink, who has made a few really smart runs in this game that was not far off.
No, Klink certainly has. He made a couple of runs kind of right through the defense and sent 2 or 3 good opportunities for Annapolis. But Annapolis really needs to get a little bit more in sync in terms of what they're doing tonight. Everything's a little fractured. There's too many times where any attack they have is one bad pass and it's kind of over.
Like we said, Klink, the best player in the country when he was a senior in high school. Yes, that's going to get played across again. That was dangerous from Sven Meacham. Ramos keeps it in, and he had the time to just stop it and turn around. This is Shamu looking to roll it through, but it gets knocked away. Now Besenze sliding it through, but taking it back now.
I think it's pretty clear that the Meacham, experiment is working tonight.
Yeah, he's been awesome. He has the game's only goal. That's Karsten making the run. He's got it at his feet. Besenze trying to keep it in front of him. Now Karsten looking to cut it back. Looking to get it across, and he's won a corner.
That's a great battle out here. Karsten is a big guy. He looks like a center back, but he's a winger, and he's really good. He's got great feet, but he's coming up against a really good defender. So this is a good battle we got going on.
So much talent here on the field, both sides. Jansen's taking the corners tonight. Love to see his teammate get ahead to this. It does fall for Fukuda, who loves to let them rip, but this time he opts to give it off to Mador. He looks to send it to the back post. It gets headed across, and Bean got a vital touch to tip it over. Another corner coming.
That was great positioning by Bean. He didn't panic when the ball went in over his head. He clearly had some earlier. Yeah, he already knew that ball was going to be headed back in across, and then he had the positioning. Great goalkeepers will tell you, just look at this cross.
That gets sent in. Bean with the punch. Played back into the middle of the field. There's nobody waiting at the top of the box. Now Fukuda steps up and let it rip.
And Faguna was really close on that one. It just rose over the bar by about 18 inches. So he's kind of coming down a little bit. So excellent rip by Fukuda. What a great strike. Now he just needs to get that ball under the bar.
It's the third time that he's tried it from the top of the box.
Yeah, it
certainly does not lack confidence.
No, he's got a ton of confidence, and it's pretty clear that he's done this and made a couple of goals out of it before. So that's why he's, keeps shooting away like he is, and to Bethesda needs to be really aware of the fact that of the three shots they've gone down lower, and lower, and you would think the next time he's going to really get a hold of one.
You need confidence to shoot it from there.
Oh yeah.
And he certainly has it. Blues have it right now, 40 minutes into this ball game. They trail by 1. Now that's going to be slid through to Karsten, who's out of play for another throw-in. Gets fired in. This is Thistle. Really good there by Okran. Knock it away from the danger man for Bethesda.
And you also see Matt Leonard for Annapolis starting to drift. He's kind of got a free roll a little bit. And I guess when the ball doesn't come his way, he's been given instruction to be able to come inside, which obviously creates an overload, but it does vacate a position defensively. So that's it works both ways.
It's going to get played up the middle. This is Jansen. Waiting. Still waiting. Just did not pull the trigger on that through ball over to Kiyomaini on the far side.
He was waiting for Kiyomaini to make that run in behind, but the defender didn't bite on it. Great defending by Bethesda.
That was Ishibashi. That right side. Fukuda now playing it back.
Fukuda's really lively, isn't he?
Yeah, it feels like he's had a lot of the ball. This is Leonard sending it across. It gets headed straight up into the air, and there is Besenze to knock it away. McWhinney tried to play it on for Thistle, just missed it. Got caught up there as he was trying to make that run away. Now this is Leonard. There's a shot from distance blocked away. And then McWhinney's just going to knock that out of danger, and Bethesda's going to reset.
And Leonard pounded that shot when he came inside. You know that when he gets a hold of one, it's going to be dangerous there for Beanie.
Like I said earlier, Leonard, the leading goal scorer all time at the College of Charleston.
That's incredible. That really is to me, because there's been so many good players that have come through that university.
It's going to get played over this near side. Take a bounce and stay in play, and Annapolis opt to just give it to their keeper, Alex Hare. As the sun is setting here in Bethesda. Sun setting on this first half here for Annapolis. They'd love to tie this game up before the break. In a game where it feels like they've had so much of the ball, but have not been able to make it count. That gets played through. This is Menor. Menor will spin. And he's just going to roll that back to Jansen. Hansen, a curler into the box, goes to the back post, and Bean saved it off the line. Bean left his line again, it is still loose, and there's Leonard with the acrobatics to tie the game.
What a great cross, but an even better finish by Leonard. And Bethesda needed to look at the clock at the 41-minute mark and say, you can't get this. So great, Leonard goes up for the ball, comes off the post, comes back, great clip over the top, beats Bean, and absolutely Taekwondo City. I mean, that is unbelievable. That's Leonard, 6'3", all 6'3" of him. I think he's 6'3".
He's a big guy.
And he got up vertical, sideways on, and that is just, that's Ibrahimovic-like. I mean,
that's the definition of get something on that.
Yes.
Except when you say that, you don't expect a guy to get their foot that high.
I've got to ask his father, Keith, after the game, whether or not he took Taekwondo when he was younger.
Kids, if you're watching this, might not be a bad idea to learn some martial arts.
I was going to say, it worked for Ibrahimovic, that's for sure.
Some of the best soccer players I've ever played with had that background where you're just able to contort your body. That's what goal scorers do.
That's right.
What a fun match this has been so far. A pair of really solid goals, really different goals, both from chaotic sequences in the box, but they could not have looked more different as an end product, I'd say, Bruce.
Sure, and Bethesda's got to be kicking themselves because they're 4 minutes away from getting in at 1-0 in the half, and this just changes the outcome big time. You know, it really does. It's such a gut punch when you're working as hard as you are and you give up a late goal.
Well, they say that close to halftime, that's one of the most dangerous times. You've always got to be alert.
You do, and that's, you know, this is a very...
Oh, man, that's a pull. That's going to be a card.
It's a very young Bethesda team, and, you know, they'll have to learn from this. You know, when you go in the locker room, man, you got to be pissed. You got to be ticked off at yourself.
And I think this is a frustration foul.
Yeah, it's a bit of a horse collar. It's definite professional foul, and definitely needs to be a yellow card.
And how fitting, just as you are talking about the frustration, you see why it's just so painful to concede so late in this half. Now you get a yellow card because of it that you really don't want to give to a physical player like Shamu. And now if you're Annapolis, you see something like that, does that give you motivation that maybe you got these guys in their heads?
That's part of it. And, you know, Shamu also, he has to start saying to himself, anything that's 50-50 that I think I might not be able to get to, tackle-wise, I can't make that tackle because if it's a late tackle, he's going to be off on a second yellow.
Yeah, you really don't want to burn your one yellow that you have a game on a foul that's in the other half of the field.
Right. You know, again, things that drive coaches crazy. Mouthy to the referee, and he gives you a yellow. Things like that, you know, those you cannot burn. When you're a midfielder, when you're a center back, you can't burn yellow cards. I mean, it just kills you. I've seen a World Cup game this year where one of the players
covered his mouth.
Yeah, covered his mouth, got a yellow card.
Well, here comes Annapolis yet again. That gets played across. Karsten.
That's it.
Yep, the whistle is going to go, and that will end the first half. 1-1 as we head to the locker room. A pair of really solid goals, one from Sven Meacham and the other from Matthew Leonard. Stick with us here at NBC Sports. Play for the second half. And we welcome you back here to Bethesda. They took the lead with an early goal from Sven Meacham. Then Annapolis tied it up with a goal that was very Zlatan-like from Matthew Leonard. I'm Tyler Lochte, joined by a man with more World Cup goals than Zlatan. It's the Hall of Famer Bruce Murray. Bruce, really fun first half here tonight.
Yeah, it was, again, just disappointing at the very end for Bethesda. But this is a real barn burner. I mean, both teams are playing good soccer. One is a counterattacking team in Bethesda, and Annapolis likes to really move the ball around.
World Cup night here. It's just a beautiful night here for soccer. Not too hot, not too cold. And Bethesda look to be ready to run. They've got it here. And the blue jerseys moving left to right. And we are underway.
I would also say to anybody, please come out to one of these games. Bring your kids because there's...
Oh, here's an early chance for McWhinney. Now it gets sent across by Meacham. And cleared away, but as you were saying, Bruce?
No, and at halftime, their kids are playing music, and the kids are all out playing small-sided games. It's just magic. The kids love this kind of stuff.
Imagine being a kid playing on a pitch like this.
Oh, I mean, it's like, yeah, that's great. You end up going to college one day, or you become a pro, and you guys are sitting around the locker room, and you tell the guys, you should see my field when I was a 9-year-old.
Right. There's no anthills here.
Now, they do such an amazing job here at the Soccerplex. But people really, just this field is a World Cup level field.
This is Annapolis trying to build from the back. This is the goal scorer, Leonard. The best moment of that first half was that goal. A taekwondo finish to tie this game and take away the ability for Bethesda to go into the locker room up 1-0. That gets played into the middle of the field for good, and now switched over. This is Karsten. Karsten inching his way forward. He had to go, and he curled it over. Goal kick.
And it was a great ball, a great run by Leonard. Again, Leonard is a big body, 6'3" guy, and his feet are sublime. They just dink, 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 and bang. He's past you, and then a great ball across. And just unfortunate on the shot for Annapolis, but great work by Matthew Leonard.
13 goals across the last 2 seasons at Charleston, by the way, for Leonard. Very, very impressive tally. As this is now Bethesda looking to get something going. Goes out play.
You don't see wingers like Leonard. He's a really tall guy, super tall. Usually see those guys, in the center at the back, or you see him up top as your 9. But Leonard is a special player. His footwork just in this game, I haven't seen him play in a long, long time, and I saw him play a while back, but his footwork is phenomenal.
6'4" he stands. Here comes Bethesda again, gets centered up. Leonard leaves it, and the shot just over from Medor. It's one he would like have back.
And Medor absolutely wants that back, but the whole thing set up by the great dummy from Matthew Leonard. Absolutely brilliant. Drags a defender out of the picture, dummies it. Medor needed to do better than that.
The dummy, it's such a smart play, Bruce. Such an unselfish play.
Yeah, we saw that in Lionel Messi's goal against Austria the other day.
I was just thinking that, Argentina. Bethesda, they seem to be on the back foot here. You got to give credit to Annapolis. They really have had some pep in their step after conceding that early goal.
Yeah, they weren't really playing, they weren't into the game until that happened. And then once they did, bam, you're right. Great point.
Well, remember how they gave up the goal. It was a poor clearance right to the foot of Meacham and the Yale man. It was a very smart play. Took his time and then picked his spot in the goal. As Hare was caught off his line. And then Thistle just lost the ball, but does well to corral it. It's Nelson sliding it forward. The Kiwi now will fire it over to the far side.
And we have the open window here in the booth, and I'm hearing Nelson. When he played that ball into the middle, he told the player to turn before the player even got into the ball. So, that's one thing. A really great player already knows that, but at the same time, you're getting that insurance call from Nelson from the back. Master communicator kind of guy.
Communication, I feel like it's something that isn't really thought about as much as it should be. It's so important in this game.
Oh, it is big time. Everyone knows who Johan Cruyff is. Everyone does the Cruyff. Every little kid, every parent knows what a Cruyff move is. Well, at Cruyff's heyday, they called him the traffic cop because he would stand in the middle of the field and just with his arms tell everyone where to go, and everyone would do all the work. And Cruyff ended up being like such a great player.
Total football. This is Ramos, far side. Ramos going to look to fire that in. It took a deflection, then it gets headed away by Carrillo. Interested to see how Bethesda come out of the locker room here after giving up that late goal.
Yeah, I mean, people in the locker room have to be ticked off, as I said in the first half, but at the same time,
Meacham playing it into the middle. That shot gets blocked away. That was Shemu who took it. How about Ben Medor cutting through? The pass got away from him there. Mark Antonio runs it down.
Yeah, but Medor, the way he dribbles, he's going to take anybody on all the time because his feet are so quick. You can see why he was the Gatorade Player of the Year nationally.
This is going to get slid through. This is Thistle. What a block.
They're calling a handball.
Fukuda put his body on the line.
I'm thinking I'm not sure what the call is. It's got to be a handball.
Yeah.
And I think the referee is going over to see if Fukuda, he's going to call this as an intentional handball. Which I think there's no way. No, that went off his face.
Well, I think the question here is where did the handball occur? Is this a free kick or a penalty?
Well, I think it went off his face, though. I think when you go back and look at it, it went off the top of his head.
This ball is right on the edge of the box.
Okay. So they are calling it a handball.
Yep.
And to your point, they were trying to determine whether or not it was,
right.
And they're literally on the 18-yard line.
It's so right on the line.
It's 1 inch away from being a penalty. And that would be a bad call because I believe it hit him in the face.
It's such a hard call to make.
It is. But, then we could make our friend Dave Johnson happy and go to the VAR. Sorry, Dave, I had to get that in for you, buddy, because we know how much you and I love VAR.
I just think it's really harsh there to punish Fukuda for an incredible hustle play.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. And even if it did hit his hand, was it? But then we get into this whole other thing. So let's see what the Bethesda can do with this. It's going to be tough. You're not going to be able to kind of curl. It's going to have to be around the edge of the wall. Goalkeeper's completely shielded, so if he can get it around and turn it, but you certainly can't get it up and down.
Meacham wearing number 3, Shemu wearing number 18. It's Meacham off the bar. How close was that? Maybe that's a bit of a ball don't lie movement. It was inches from a penalty and then inches from a goal. No dice for Bethesda.
Wow, what a great free kick that was. The goalkeeper was on the strong side and had no chance at all.
Oh, man. Let's take another look.
It was just hit really hard. Yeah.
Meacham nearly had his second goal.
Oh, here's a great view of it. Yeah, it's just going to be smashed in. Didn't quite have the curl necessary.
Game of inches, Bruce.
It is. It's fine margins, right?
Like I just said, inches from a penalty, inches from a goal, and yet here we are, 1-1.
That's right. It's a cruel game. It really is. And you have to be able to put up with these disappointments and don't get too high with the high or too low with the lows.
So now this is Fukuda on the ball, who's got to be careful. Remember, he's picked up that yellow card. Second yellow given in this game. Carson Shemu picked one up just before the end of the half out of frustration from that Annapolis goal.
And this is interesting because, Annapolis got off the hook there, right? Bethesda clearly could have taken the lead there. And so now, when that happens, if you're Annapolis, now you go on the offense because you're like, hey, man, we got away with one, so let's, that's usually what happens.
It's like that point that we were making earlier where you can gain momentum from a close miss. That's going to be a foul around midfield. Played quickly here by Annapolis. Again, I said this after the first goal. I'm going to say it here again after the second goal. I don't think we're done in terms of scoring tonight. It just feels like that type of match where we could see a few more.
I agree. There's no way that the score ends at 1-1.
Well, again, now that we say it, that's
the
only possibility.
Curse. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We have maybe now enabled it from happening. If we just would have said nothing, maybe we could have had that 5-4 game.
Maybe we get the Ghanaian witch doctor
to
take the curse off, right? The announcer's curse.
One of the just incredible moments of an incredible month of soccer that is not even close to done. Whether it's at that level or this level, everybody in the country just can't get enough. This gets played in over the top, and I think that Klink was offside there.
And it was a miscommunication, but Annapolis has some big players. I mean, they've got big bodies up top. And I say up top because you've got Matt Leonard always pushing to get inside. And
Dan Klink, the target man there. He was the one that won the National Player of the Year. And how about 6 goals and an assist as a freshman at North Carolina this year? Did not start a game. That's off the bench in 14 games. It's incredible.
And it also doing that in the best conference in the country in soccer. It's the ACC. I mean, there's no game that's easy. Every game is murder. So it's a tough place to play.
7 goal contributions in just 388 minutes.
That is phenomenal
in that conference,
without a doubt.
What a player Annapolis has on their hands. This is Chiomani finding some space. He plays it over. This is Klink. Heavy touch. Pokes it into the middle. Nearly salvaged his mistake. And it goes out of play.
And you would never think Klink with a big touch there in a goal-scoring situation, but happens to everybody.
I just can't believe how close he was to saving that touch.
Yeah.
Had to make that split-second read and say, all right, I got to do something with this. Played it into the middle. Nearly created a tap-in, but nobody home as that's taken away by Meacham, who's just been electric tonight.
He's been great. I'm very impressed with Meacham. And, people say, well, Meacham, he's an Ivy Leaguer and this and that. I coached at Harvard with John Kerr, current Duke coach, and I'm telling you, man, there's good players everywhere. Columbia, they had some great players. Harvard had some great players. Yale. You've got foreign players now you're competing with. I mean, all these schools can play now. And that reminds me of the World Cup. All these countries can play. Anybody that's watching Cape Verde, you tell me that you're not inspired. That's an incredible story.
There's also just an aura about going to a school like that. Liam Keller, one of the goalies for Bethesda, he was asked if you could be anybody else on the team, who would it be? He said Sven because he goes to Yale.
Yeah, that's right. Well, he's pretty clever, too. He goes to Howard.
Right. As good of a school as you can find in the area. It's a smart answer from a smart man. And for Meacham, what a really, really solid season he had this past year. How about 6 assists? Second in the Ivy League was Meacham.
Yep.
And he has a really, really hot take. This is a Yale take here. He says a hot dog, it's not a sandwich, it's actually a taco. So there you go. That's the Yale education shining through for Meacham.
A taco. Okay. All right.
That's thinking outside the box. Wonder if he put that in his application.
Yeah.
As a yellow card has been shown on the far side.
I think Meacham sounds like one of these guys that can, build a bomb out of a gum wrapper like MacGyver used to do in the, he's one of those guys that can, but he can play, and that's the most important thing. And we're watching this here. Well, he's been the best player Bethesda's had tonight.
In your time at Harvard, did you notice any maybe added creativity? What did the intelligence of those guys bring to the game?
Not much.
Maybe Beacham the exception.
Yeah. Soccer, you know, you talk about, we look at Lionel Messi, and so he would be.
This ball gets played into the middle, knocked away. There's a very ambitious effort over the goal there.
Lionel Messi's never had any education post-high school or less, and yet, you know, he's a MIT doctorate with 6 degrees.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way this, in terms of our sport, right?
Well, the most common term I feel like people throw around when they're talking about him is genius.
Genius. He is a genius. He's an absolute genius. And, you know, I grew up with Pelé and Maradona. I played in that era with Maradona. But there's something absolutely off the planet smart about Lionel Messi. He is a genius.
I've had the time of my life watching him play this World Cup.
Yeah.
Went down to D.C. for the FIFA watch party, surrounded by Argentinians, everybody in tears when he scored that goal. And how about him missing the penalty?
Yeah.
He didn't want to get that record that way, Bruce.
No. And the other thing is imagine, Tyler, what it's like that you have to have your best stuff every time you go to a stadium because everybody's coming to see who? You.
Right.
And every stadium is sold out to see you. And he always performs. He doesn't have a letdown.
It's been the World Cup of stars. All the stars have embraced that pressure. It really just has been a perfect summer so far of soccer.
A heck of a start to a World Cup. Let's put it that way.
We're not even – we just started the third round of group games.
Yeah, that's
got
right.
a long way to go.
Yep. You know, it's interesting that England, you know, and what happened yesterday with Ghana, because now England has to really push to get that first spot now. And they're going to have to play their guys. And, again, everyone will say, well, you could pick an England team. Well, it's, you know, that group of second players in England, they haven't played a ton together on the field. So I don't see any way that Tuchel doesn't put it in the first team to get that game, you know, won. If it's won by halftime, then, boom, he'll change the team. But we'll see. I mean.
Well, the good news for England, the witch doctor's curse has been taken away. So they do not need to worry about that. Their talisman, Harry Kane, has got the biggest sigh of relief now that that curse has been lifted.
I knew something. I mean, when he missed that shot, I knew it was something. Thanks for the info there.
It's going to go on a play for a throw. Annapolis with a nice little spell of possession here.
And that's what they're doing. I mean, they're a possession-based team.
Scarston firing it over to Leonard.
Great feet. What a
Here's
trap.
Leonard sizing up. He has a go from distance just over. He's playing with confidence after that big goal.
Yeah. Leonard is I mean, it's tough to deal with him because he's got the length. And once he cuts inside, he can get an arm out and just keep you at bay. And, again, just a little bit high. But I'm very impressed with Matthew Leonard. And it's very apparent to me why he's got all these goals down at College of Charleston.
Yeah, missed some time this year training MLS teams, and he is super draft eligible. Have a feeling he's going to get his name called.
There's no doubt in my mind what I'm seeing tonight, what his his ceiling is. Oof, it's a lot more he could do.
And again, that's a theme with this Annapolis team. We still have not seen Rich Monith come into this game. He leads their team with 4 goals. Some incredible options on their bench here tonight. As this is going to get played over the top, it will bounce right in front of the keeper. That's Alan Bean. And again, it's understandable, Bruce, that Annapolis would have some of their big guns out tonight, or at least waiting until later to make an appearance, because they did play against a team from the top level in Mexico last night.
That's right. So it does make a lot of sense.
That's going to get rolled through. Here is Klink over to the far side for Karsten. Just out of reach. Karsten, though, sticks with it and keeps it in play. Karsten now cutting back, trying to find the cross. There's a shot that gets blocked, but it rolls right to Medor. That ball's still spinning. Medor trying to control it. He's done well to win a corner.
That's great defense as well by Bethesda. Didn't bite on Medor. I mean, when Medor gets you one-on-one on the end line, there's been plenty of guys that he's beat here this season, but that was great defending. And you had pressure hard, and then you had cover in behind, which was great, because if the pressure got beat, then the cover was there to clean it up.
Ben Medor will fire it across to the back post. It gets headed into the middle. It's still loose and put over. Annapolis can't believe that they have not found a go-ahead goal.
And I believe that was Matt Leonard. Yep, Matt Leonard. Oh, goodness gracious.
You think about the one he just scored compared to that.
Yeah. So what happened was it caught him in the face. On the Bethesda cleared it out, and it cleared right off his face, and then it rolled down his chest, and that was a really difficult ask.
So a couple of subs here for Bethesda. Looks like Annapolis is going to respond with two of their own, but this is McWhinney looking to slide it through. Fresh off the bench, that's Juan Pozo circling around, and it gets taken away. Juan Pozo and Sam Delgado into the game. Both of them have multiple goal contributions this season. They replaced Matty Thistle and Brian Ramos-Sanchez.
And Sam Delgado can run. If Bethesda decides they want to press, you'll see Sam Delgado running that press.
Delgado 3 goals this year. Juan Pozo 2 assists. So some attacking depth here for Bethesda on display.
Got some firepower.
See if they can make a difference. 3 men ready to come on here for Annapolis. But as I was saying, for Annapolis, coming off of that friendly last night, back in your playing days for US, you went over and played in some of those preseason, or I guess mid-season friendlies against some big clubs, which was the case last night for Santos Laguna. We know what they get out of it. They're trying to get ready for their season. But
sure,
you've been on the other side of that. What does Annapolis get out of a game like that?
Well, Annapolis gets to see a different speed of play, right? They'll see a ball that they think is going to be something they could get to, and all of a sudden it's past them. And so that's there's different levels. Like when we would play Bayern Munich or we would play Juventus, there are certain things like Bayern Munich was just incredibly, like, everything was like regimented, and it was going like clockwork. Juventus a little bit more. Then we would play AC Milan, and they'd score a goal or two. I think we tied them 1-1 in Chicago. It was a big crowd, and just the way.
Back then the Italian teams were on top of the world.
No, that was the Italian teams. I remember playing at Millwall in the championship. We would come in for treatment on Sunday because we played on Saturday, and of course the first division or the Premier League was playing, and the Italian Serie A, and like all the players would come in for treatment just to watch the Serie A games.
But I think that's so important, right, to see that different speed.
Yes.
To see how good guys can be.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a team that's won the Mexican League 6 times.
Yeah. No, they're very historical in that term, just like Club America, just a world-renowned team. And, fantastic opportunity for both teams because, Annapolis gives them the, chance to get some reps in. But at the same time, our players are here in America, they get a great opportunity to be on the same field and see what the real speed of,
Oh, by the way, over 7,000 were there to see it. That's typical for what Annapolis has built, but it's still so impressive no matter how normal it is to them.
It is. And, the World Cup, and nobody in Annapolis is going to complain, the World Cup has taken away from their ticketing this year. But I can tell you, as a former season ticket holder, I need to sign back up. But that Blues games that I went to had 10, 11, 12,000 people 2 years ago. And so this is something that is just happening because of the World Cup. But it's for a good reason, right? And so, 1 year on, I can only think that it's going to, make the audience even bigger. And the thing about the Blues and what they do, and is exactly what we're starting to do here, is with the kids' games and everything. The Blues have tailgate parties out in the parking lot. It's just like it's a family atmosphere. It's just a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Just to recap all of those subs there, mate. Didn't want to cut you off when we were flirting about AC Milan, all those big clubs back in the day. Love that stuff. It was Karsten and Medor and Klink who came off. Coming on, Oliver Snowden, Tyler Gabera, who serves as pseudo-captain for this team. He's been around for a long time. And then Brady Guijo, who is the all-time leading scorer for the Blues, has come on as well.
My Olympic teammate, Jim Gabara, that's his son.
There you go.
Yep. Jim coaches the women's team for the Blues. And kind of a good player.
Yeah, he's the president over there in Annapolis. So that Tyler's mom won the Golden Ball at the '99 World Cup. Karen Jennings-Gabara.
And Karen is the coach of Navy for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Karen Jennings-Gabara was part of the great women's teams of the early 90s.
And now a second yellow and a red has been shown. That's Fukuda, who's off. Remember,
yes,
he had that contentious first yellow where he dove at a ball to try to save it, and now he's gone. And this is a huge call in this game.
And that's just the, you're playing with fire once you're, yeah.
There's the slide, and again, you can't do that when you're on a yellow.
Well, you can't, and there's really no need to, and it's all, every game's an education, right? I can't sit there and say, I did everything perfect. No, absolutely not. Like, I got red cards and whatever. You have to learn from it's pretty apparent to us up here in the booth, but to him, he's like, I'm just going to go in and make this tackle. He was late, and boom. I don't think there was any malicious intent, if you know what I mean.
That's just one where, again, you have to have that awareness. You have to know that you're already on that yellow. And you said earlier on, as soon as he got that yellow card, how careful you have to be. And clearly just was not thinking about it in that moment. And now his team is down to 10 men.
That's it. It might be the difference.
So how does that change things tactically if you're Bethesda?
If you're Bethesda, you probably want to find a way to – because they're going to drop back, so you're going to get one of your backs, your center fullback, get him up a little bit. So now you got a sweeper situation. You've got one in front of the other, more predominantly. So you want to get one of those center backs slipped up into the midfield.
The sub for Bethesda that I was about to say before we had that red card, Santiago Canencio has come in for Christopher McWhinney, who picked up a bit of a knock.
Yep.
Have not seen much of Canencio this season. Where's number 9? As you wonder if Bethesda can wrestle back momentum from that card.
Well, it's also not easy to play against 10 people. I'll tell you why. Is teams pack it in, and it's really difficult to play or get into a transition game that Bethesda loves to play when a team is packed in. So it's going to be not easy for Bethesda, but they should use get that available man and take advantage.
This is Meacham into the middle, nearly found the foot of Delgado, just missed him. That would have been a goal. And again, you said it, Bruce. Delgado showing off his speed there, getting into a good spot, but could not get that vital touch. And now going down there as Leonard draws the whistle.
It's funny. Annapolis wants to go, and Leonard was on the ground. and it's like all the guys were going to the party, and he's like, hey, man, wait for me. They wanted to go fast.
They wanted to zoom down the field, and now free kick has been won here at a dangerous spot. That was Brady Guijo going down. Again, he is the all-time leader in goals for this club, just one so far this season.
And this is the perfect place to get it up over the wall and down under the bar. I mean, it's about 26, 27 yards out, and just perfect. Plenty of time. So you've got a chance to really put some speed on this ball.
This is Jensen right into the wall. Second effort just floats wide there.
And the wall did its job. And, man, it's for those that, aren't huge soccer people, like, you got to be tough and you got to be really brave, man, because some of these shots are coming in at 85, 90 miles an hour, and that ball hits you. You got to be tough. You got to be tough. There's a very famous picture, actually, of the old AC Milan team with the three great Dutchmen, 6'4", and the big wall. And the photographer, it's like a world soccer book, got the picture, and as the ball was hit, the whole wall had turned their back because none of those superstars wanted to take one.
It's so funny, I think, to see even at that level, those guys don't want to be struck with a shot. Well, I guess at that level it makes even more sense with how hard those guys are hitting the ball.
Oh, yeah, and it was, the whole wall had jumped up with the, you could see everyone's number on the back of their shirt.
A couple of subs here. Annapolis have brought in the big guns. It's Rich Monith, who has come in alongside Keenan Bader, who's joined this team midway through the season, and it's another guy that Brendan Hartlove, when I was talking to him, the voice of the Blues, was really raving about.
I think we're good.
So a couple of really dangerous players coming in for Annapolis. They're going to try to take all 3 points here, even though they are down to 10 men. Delgado trying to knock it over to the far side, and it will be booted down into the middle of the field. Take it back here by Bethesda. This is Nelson now playing it into the middle for Shamu. Back it goes for Mark Antonio. Annapolis doing a good job keeping the ball in front of them here. Although it is taken away now by Ishibashi. Through for Delgado! Oh! What a finish! And Bethesda take back the lead. A takeaway, and then a perfect finish.
What a brilliant entry pass. Delgado running across the line and getting his head up, but only had a moment to do all the math in his head because he just took one quick look, and then he struck it right past the goalkeeper into the far post. Absolutely brilliant finish, but an even better ball in. I think the ball was in from Ishibashi. What a ball.
His second assist of the season for Delgado, his fourth goal. That was beautiful. Look at this pass again.
Oh. But Delgado had a lot to do as that ball came past him. He got that quick look, like I said, and then, you don't get a second look, so you got to think, wait, where will the goalie be here in about a microsecond? That's all that stuff has to go on in your head. That's what the great forwards do.
Check about the great forwards. That goal very reminiscent of the one that Ronaldo scored just the other day, where not much power but perfectly placed.
Absolutely.
And now a shot at the other end, right to Bean. It was hit there by D'Almeida, who is another player that was just brought on. Annapolis really trying to get that goal back. All hands on deck right now from the Blues. And if you're Bethesda, can you find a way to hang on here against the 10 men of Annapolis? You've got 11 minutes to change to do so. And now, Bruce, you're really seeing that urgency from this Annapolis team. You're really going to start to see them press a bit more, look to play the ball a bit more directly.
Absolutely, and with 10 minutes and change to go, they're going to have to sacrifice somewhere, and there's going to be an opening, and Bethesda needs to go ahead and exploit that.
If you're Bethesda, if you can find a third goal against it, side with just 10 men, it feels like that could be it.
The hard part about playing with 10 men is trying to offensively do things. It's easy to block things up defensively, but it's really hard when you're missing a man offensively.
That's going to get slid through. This is Giho trying to play it across, but nobody's there. Rich Moneth was at the top of the box. He chases it down and gets it into Keenan Bader. Here's Moneth again. Now directing traffic here. This is Oliver Snowden. Chasing that down. That is Cabrera, nearly taken away, but a good job by Annapolis here to hold the possession.
And you can see Annapolis having a real hard time getting forward. And
this is Giho poking it through. This is Moneth, just wide. Took a deflection on the way out. If that touch isn't there, that's a goal.
I think Ishibashi had a piece of this. I think he actually got this on the deflection and kept it out of the goal. In fact, yes.
And this game has really come to life here in the late stages.
Going to get a better look at it. Yes, absolutely. Great. It was played up by Ibriashi. Great job defensively. Great job.
Now that gets played in for Giho. Nearly had it. Gets poked down. Fired over to the near side for Snowden. He's got some room. Snowden now sending it into the back post. It sneaks through, but now the linesman says it did take a touch. Another corner coming. Annapolis asking questions.
Yeah, how did that sneak through? I mean, that's amazing that ball got through. There's a whole lot of bodies here at the back of the box. And it just snuck right through.
Too much contact here. The ref is issuing a warning.
That's I don't know how they're going to stop this, but they got to stop this contact in the box stuff on corner kicks. Corner kicks used to be really a big part of the game, but it's very rare now you see a header on a corner kick like Harry Kane the other day for England, because everyone wraps everyone up and fouls everyone, and the referees, they have a word and then it does it again, and something's got to change.
This ball's going to be sent into the middle over everybody. But it gets headed back inside by Ishibashi, and then another deflection and goes out for another corner. D'Almeida wants a penalty. He went down. There's now players all over the place on the turf.
There's 3 players down.
And this is what you said, Bruce. Plenty of contact, plenty of guys that are down in the heap. So the trainer's going to come on. What happened here?
I don't know. Looks like we got 3 head injuries, or
it's like a car crash.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. There's player body, like you said, bodies everywhere.
That was a dangerous header back into the middle, by the way, by Ishibashi, who's done everything right the last 5 minutes.
Except that, because that was a terrible header, and it shouldn't have, obviously got away with it. And again, you're right. He's had a very good game. But, man, it's all about those margins and the mistakes, right, and when you make them, and can you eliminate mistakes, right? Almost every goal in soccer, almost every goal is created off of some type of mistake. It really is. And
we just saw the turnover there around midfield. Ishibashi takes it, then a perfect pass through. We saw in the first goal earlier in this game, it was a failed clear.
That's right.
And then that middle goal, I guess you could say Bean maybe should have had it, but I really do think that was just a phenomenal finish.
It was.
But 2 or 3 goals clearly from a mistake tonight, Bruce. You're absolutely right.
Absolutely right. And it's just part of the game. You got to eliminate those mistakes.
It's so hard to play a clean 90 minutes.
It is. It really is. And in fact, I was looking at the stats. The first game against Paraguay, Chris Richards, our center back, had a 100% pass rate for the whole game. He made 82 passes, and he was 82 for 82. And not every pass was wide open. It had some, pressing involved. So, I mean, that's incredible. I mean, that's the Crystal Palace man. When you're playing in England, the Premier League, boy, they press is a big press. I mean, they come after you. So, just kudos to him. And the other thing about Richards I love about our center back is his ability on the set pieces, right, offensively. But every time you see him, he's got a smile on his face. I mean, he's loving what he's just. Some guys are like, looking like, this. It's such a, it's trudgery to, it's hard and this and that. Not him. He's just laughing, right? I love that. It reminds me of the Redskins Commanders. Jaden Daniels. You see him through his face mask. He's always laughing. But go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I'm just kind of intrigued here by look at where this head check is happening. It's right behind the corner flag. How are you supposed to focus on the corner with that going on right behind you?
I have no idea.
See if Annapolis can find a way through it. Gets sent in and cleared away. Back in my playing days, which were nothing like yours, I was always the corner guy. I would show up early and just hit a million balls in the middle. I don't know how I would keep my focus if that was going on. Oh, this ball just slid through to Carrillo into the middle. Wonder if he maybe should have just fired a shot. That gets it in, and we are tied. D'Almeida got the touch, 2-2.
And again, this is what we talk about, the inexperience of Bethesda in the sense that they need to look at the clock and realize that we got to tighten it up. We really have to tighten. We cannot allow for these kind of things to happen, and that's exactly what happened. Ball goes wide, cross back in, and everybody got caught ball watching, right? Everybody is looking in at the ball, and the player just slides in between the two fullbacks and in. Easy goal, easy goal.
What a finish from D'Almeida, his second goal of the season. It's the second goal of the night for Annapolis. And what a ball game we've got on our hands now, 2-2. Annapolis down to 10 men. They find a way, and now they're looking to take the lead down the other way. With Gabarra, he's got the armband. Plays it to D'Almeida, rolls it through for Monith. The club's leader in goals this year. Lochte send it across. It gets knocked down. There's a shot. It was set up perfectly there for Chiamani, but he couldn't keep it down.
Wow, Chiamani would love to have this back because all he has to do is put it on target. He doesn't have to smash it like that. But Bethesda's definitely under the gun here.
What a game. We really have had it all tonight, Bruce.
This is a absolutely fantastic game. Toe-to-toe with a very good Annapolis Blues team, so you can see the growth in our team for sure.
Winner of this game takes 8th place here in the Chesapeake Division. Bethesda currently on 11 points, Annapolis on 13. Can Bethesda find the goal? We're going to have a lot of added time because of those injuries there in the box.
That's right. So you would think with those subs, you're probably looking at 5 or 6 minutes maybe?
A fair amount for sure. Guijo knocks it through. This is the man that may have saved Annapolis. D'Almeida over to the far side. Running this down is Gabarra. Got a push from behind. It goes out of play, and that is great defense from Basenze, who's very quietly had a very good night in his new role there on the left side. That gets slid through. It chose not to make the run. The flag would have gone up. They're on Salif Lean-2. And now pressure from behind from Lean-2. The whistle will go. This is Bader playing it back. Will there be any twists and turns these final minutes?
Have they announced the extra time, or?
I do not believe they have. But again, I agree with you. I think it's got to be around 5 minutes or so. Still plenty of time for another goal. Still plenty of time for one of these two teams to take all 3 points. Cross got blocked. It goes out for a throw. Kiomani will fire that in to Oliver Snowden. This is Keenan Bader. Bader, a player who's shown a lot of good this season for Annapolis. They're still trying to figure out his exact role, but they know he is certainly a weapon. This is D'Almeida again working his way through. It's dropped off. There's a shot from distance. It took a deflection off of D'Almeida. It was Gabara who sent it in.
This looks like the Canada-Switzerland game at the very end. Canada was just bombing them, like throw-in, long throw-ins, maybe 5 of them in the last 5 minutes, 3 corner kicks, just bombing Switzerland and could not get that goal.
It was actually Machete who took the touch, so it's a corner. Geho leaves it. It's loose in the box. It falls here for Monith. Player is down here for Annapolis. They want a penalty to the back post. There's Geho in the 90th minute. Their all-time leading scorers giving them the lead.
And you have to remember, Annapolis is doing all this with 10 men. So Bethesda did not get people marked up in the box, got caught ball watching again. And the thing is that we both have seen a good performance here from Bethesda tonight, but these are massive mistakes that you can't make because all your good play is out the window with a couple of mistakes, i.e. getting caught ball watching, not tracking runners, keeping your head on a swivel, things like that. And it just has to, these are learning moments, and these kids are all going to learn from this game and be extremely disappointed because they had the game in their hands.
86th minute, they were up 2-1. They trail 2-3 now.
Yeah, but good teams will figure you out. So good, good opportunity for Bethesda to learn.
And again, you think back to last night where Annapolis played against Santos Laguna. They had a lot of their best players on the bench.
That's right.
They bring them on here late, and what an impact they've made. It doesn't even matter to them that they're down to 10 men.
Yeah, and that's what I said. It's disappointing for Bethesda, but if you look at it, as a learning moment, you'll get over it. And this Bethesda team plays really well, but they make catastrophic errors, right? Because they're not used to this level of play yet, and so they've got the playing down. Now it's the little things, right? The important things like tracking runners, communication in the box. I mean, there's just way too many open players in the box for this level of play.
The Westminster, Maryland native, Geho, he's got it here again, and he nearly put it away. Goes out for another quarter.
I'll tell you, I can't tell you how good a save that was by Bean. What an absolute fantastic save.
You could say maybe it should be 4-2. Oh, man.
That came through traffic.
And that was hit hard.
It was hit hard, and he had about 14 yards between him and the shooter. But look at that. That is phenomenal. Well done. Good job, Bean.
And now Annapolis want to go to the corner. It sneaks out for Snowden. And he just played it back too quickly there for Enzo D'Almeida, who, remember, got that game-tying goal in the 86th minute. Annapolis are still down to 10 men. There's the chip attempt. The keeper was off his line, and the shot went wide. And now the ball was not placed on the line. That's going to burn clock here for Bethesda. Bean tried to roll it forward and just boot it away, and he's still on the linesman. Did that really matter? Linesman just doing his job. This is going to be knocked forward. There is still some time left, we do believe, because you had the injuries, and then you had the goal and the long celebration from the Blues. So maybe a minute or two, not much time, but the whistle's not imminently going to be blown. Does go out of play. Ref is checking the watch, but you got to think Bethesda do have a chance here if they can get it forward.
There we go.
They're going to have a free kick, and now everybody is going to go into the box.
Including Bean. Bean's coming up as well.
Oh, no, now he just fires it down the field.
35 yards out, left-hand side. And a great opportunity for a in-swinger. There's a lot of room between the Blues goalkeeper and the line. The line is about 20 yards where that line is going to collapse in on the goalkeeper. So he's betting on this ball coming in with some pace.
Sven Meacham will take it. Into the box it goes. To the back post, it gets headed down. And there's the equalizer. Leo Robinson.
No way. You could not draw a free kick up better than that. So you've got an outside twist on the outside. I don't know who that was, 14.
That was Leo Robinson, number 4, got the final touch.
But what a
great header. You're right, it was Mark Antonio, 14, that headed it across.
Mark Antonio fought his way through 2 players, got the header back across.
This is an all-timer, Bruce.
This is one of those.
Awesome.
Absolutely, love it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It's not often in football that you see these games. I don't care what level it is, right?
It was 2-1 in the 86th minute. We've had 3 goals.
3 goals.
And this game might not be over. There's still a bit of time left. That ball's going to go out of play on the far side. Could there be another goal?
I think he's going to give each team a chance. I think that's what I'm thinking.
Well, remember, we had the car crash in the box.
Yeah.
That took some time, and then we've had 2 goals now here at stoppage time. That clock really does add up. Is there time for another? Ref has the whistle in his mouth.
He's got an offside over here. So it's a previous offside. So you got to think that, you know,
now
the way
Bethesda now Annapolis.
The unwritten rules of soccer, like they are in baseball as well, is the referee's going to allow for this team for Annapolis to have one more chance, right? Once it's cleared out of danger, but until that point, the clock's going to go.
Ball's going to get sent forward. If you're Annapolis, you can't dilly-dally. If you're Bethesda, you want to get this down in a hurry so you get the chance. They are going to have a throw, and the whistle is going to be blown. A chaotic game. 3-3 it ends. 1 point apiece.
And if you're a spectator tonight, you got your money's worth.
Wow.
Wow, what a game.
Oh, this is why we love this sport, Bruce.
Yes, we do.
So many twists and turns. Oh. It's such an incredible sport, Bruce, because in no game is it more joyous when you get a goal.
Yes.
In no game is it more punishing when you concede. Both teams thought they had this game won tonight. And in the end, neither walk away with that W.
The ups and downs of this game, the psychology of this game, outweighs everything physically and technically, skill-wise, all that, right? It's the mental aspect of the game, right?
And now you see the sportsmanship after as well.
Absolutely.
I think both these teams know that they just played it an all-timer.
Yeah, absolutely. You will not forget this game.
So to recap the second half, it's 1-1 in the 78th minute. And we have the goal from Delgado that in the moment, maybe that felt like the winner. Then you have the response in the 86th from D'Almeida. And then Guijo with that incredible header puts Annapolis ahead. He puts the jersey over his head. Surely he thought that was the winner.
And his whole bench sprinted 85 yards into the corner. I mean, talk about the whole bench.
Then you have Leo Robeson on the great ball across from Mark Antonio. Let's take another look at the game's tying goal.
And he had to fight hard to fight his way through that. And what he did was he just put it back into a place that could be dangerous. I mean, you look at the fouling and everything on the backside. He gets it, and he gets the header back across. And then Bethesda players have to decide where that ball's going to end up, and they did. And Leo Robeson got in there, figured out where it was going to come. He picked his spot, and boom. What a great game. What a great game. And again, a lot of mistakes, right? But Bethesda walks away from this game feeling really good about, their ability to match up with a really good team in this league that's been here before. That gets 8,000 people per game, right? And they were able to match up. And if it wasn't for a couple of, silly mistakes, they would have come out on top tonight.
I think it's just so interesting, Bruce. If you tell Annapolis, all right, it's the 85th minute, you're losing 2-1, you're going to draw this game. If you're Annapolis, you're like, awesome.
Yes.
But now, here we stand, and Annapolis feels like they got robbed.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why soccer players are just mentally, you're fragile, because this game takes it out of you, and it gives to you, and it just rips it out. It tears your heart out. It's a brilliant game. It's a brilliant game.
And we thank our brilliant crew for our producer, Noah Walker, leading the way. For the Hall of Famer, Bruce Murray, I am Tyler Lochte saying so long here from Bethesda. Your final score, Bethesda 3, Annapolis 3.